Right down there, we'll meet you there.
Can you cut bits out?
Yeah, cut everything.
So I can be like, hello, I'm Jenny, welcome to Mod TV, and I hope that you enjoy my interview.
Right, first, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the mod scene, please.
I got into it first of all from my dad, because he was never into the fashion or anything, but he was always into the music. My dad was a huge fan of The Jam, massive fan, and he used to have a little DVD of all their music videos. So all while I was growing up, he would always put this DVD on, and I would think, oh God, I love their clothes, they look so cool. And then I just kind of took it into my own and got into it even more with the fashion and the Kinks and more music.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Suffolk, in a very small town called Bury St Edmunds. So when I was there wasn't really a scene or like mod, club nights or Northern Soul or anything. There was one shop that would sell Fred Perry, and it was all men's stuff, and it was really limited, which is fine, but
Still not changed much today, is it?
it.
There's not much women clothes still around
There's
today.
There's not really a lot.
And have you been in London long?
I've been here for 4 or 5 years now,
And
I think.
were you a mod before you came down? Or
I was kind of, in my mind and my taste and my attitude I was, but I never really dressed the part, because like I said, there just wasn't anything at all there.
And do you go to Brighton? Have you been up to Brighton?
I have been up to Brighton.
And what do you think of Brighton?
Love it. Absolutely fantastic.
What did you get up to there? What was it about? The reason for going? Just a day trip or?
I went it was the Easter weekend last year, and I ended up getting really drunk and then listening to really good music and spending loads of money in very nice shops.
Did you see any bands there or anything?
Yeah, I saw the Spitfires.
Were they good?
Fantastic. Very, very good.
So is that one of your favourite bands?
Oh yeah, they're definitely up there.
Okay. So what is your favourite band and
Ever?
like mod band?
Favourite mod band? Oh, it's a toss-up between the Kinks and the Who. And the Small Faces.
What kind of tunes it is do you like?
Oh God, that's not fair to make me choose.
No, I'm not saying your favourite ones. I'm just saying like any particular ones that you really, when you listen to, you think, oh wow, yeah, I love this. Really love this a bit more than the others or whatever.
The one that really sticks out to me from the Kinks especially, and it's a very typical answer, but it's Waterloo Sunset, because it just doesn't sound like anything else.
Classic.
And you can just imagine the whole scene and what it's about when you hear that song. They just get the sound so bang on for that.
What about any other songs or anything? Northern Soul, Scar.
I like Northern Soul. I like a lot of it. For me, it's kind of, I'm into it. I understand the whole scene. I love the fashion. I love like Northern Soul nights around Camden and stuff. But for me, it's more of the greatest hits, kind of.
And how about Quadrophenia? Have you seen the movie?
Hundreds of times.
And where was you the first time you see it?
At my dad's, funnily enough.
And did he introduce you to it?
He did.
Yeah.
He said to me, it's a little bit depressing, but I guarantee you'll really like it.
So what did you think of it when you first watched it?
I just thought it was just like nothing else I'd ever seen before, ever. And it just opened it up. I watched it when I was really young, maybe about like 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
And it just opened up, like the whole scene up so much more for me.
And do you have a favourite scene?
Yeah, the alley scene.
Yeah, dirty madam.
It's
Don't
everyone's
worry.
favourite scene. That's
I
the
can't
best
remember
scene.
what happened in the alley.
No,
I'm not going to walk you through it.
I'll have to go back down there and have a look.
Can you remember the first song you bought, mod song?
First mod song ever. It would have been The Jam.
Do you know what song it was? Or where you was, how old you was?
I didn't buy it, but I was 10 years old and my dad gave me the vinyl of Start.
Bloody hell. Yeah, remember that.
And there's one on the other side that I cannot remember now. But I remember that very clearly, being given that.
So tell us a little bit about your clothes and like where you buy them, what shops.
My favourite label ever out of anything is Fred Perry. I absolutely love it. It's one of the first jobs that I got when I moved to London. And it was just fantastic because you got free uniform, you got staff discount.
Did you work in Fred Perry?
Yeah.
What, in Covent Garden, around the corner?
No, I worked at the one that was in Westfield at Shepherd's Bush.
Okay.
And then it got closed down. And then I did a few shifts at Covent Garden.
Yeah.
And it was good.
So where else do you buy your clothes? Online and
I don't really buy stuff online. I prefer going into shops.
try them on sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Whole day sort of thing? Yeah,
not the whole
I know
day.
you ladies are like.
Yeah, but I need pub breaks. Lambretta's another one.
And you used to work in Lambretta, didn't you?
I did. I used to be assistant manager of that store.
How'd you find it?
Really fun.
I don't. No more discount.
Sorry.
Don't love her no more. Interview over.
And that's actually gone now, isn't it?
No, it's still there. New people have taken it over.
Oh, someone else taken over?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I was told JD's. There was a JD's that someone told me a week or so ago. Well, no, I've seen Lambretta still there.
Okay, it's still there.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah. So do you go out and see bands and stuff like that?
I do, yeah, but they're not really, the gigs I go to aren't really kind of mod bands. They're kind of like today's version of mod bands, so more like indie and Britpop
Yeah.
and covers bands as well on a night out. It's always good.
So do you like Britpop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
love Britpop.
Oasis and Blur.
Massive fan of Oasis, love Blur, love Pulp.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Britpop.
Cool. What's your plans for the future?
Oh, that's terrifying. My kind of dream job ever my kind of dream job ever would be as like a fashion historian for Fred Perry. I did my degree in fashion marketing and I did all of my work and my dissertation about kind of historical fashion and different subcultures and stuff. So that would be the dream, but it's really hard to get into.
So, have you got a scooter, or are you planning to get a scooter?
I've got in my head, I really want like a cream and red Lambretta,
Has to be a Lambretta.
but I need to save up
Start
and have
saving.
to learn how to drive one and how to learn to fix one and look after one.
Cost a lot of money though.
I know, I've got some work to do.
You'll get there. Keep believing, keep dreaming. You'll get it.
I think so.
Mm.
Right, is my makeup okay? Okay, just checking.
What do you think of the new mods these days compared to the ones back in the day? I mean, like the way they dress, because you've got some mods that cross-dressing, meaning they're wearing, like skinhead stuff with mod stuff.
I think it's good.
Two-tone
Mixing the
stuff
cultures,
with
yeah.
mod stuff.
I think it's good to do that. I think it's good to mix it up and like because there's so many different branches and so many sections where these subcultures meet, especially in terms of music and just looking smart. I think it's great. I had a skinhead cut quite recently. It's now growing out very quickly.
So, what do you think of them? Like talking about the modern scene, the way that the mod cultures move forward. What do you think of like the modern scooters, the autos, and all that? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing to carry on that style and that kind of traditional way of getting around, because obviously not everyone can afford really old models. You can't even get really old models anymore, so it's kind of a shame that it's not the same as it was.
Well, you can get them, but they're bloody expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone can afford to get their
Afford it.
hands on one.
So you like the autos then?
I don't like them, but it's not a bad idea.
Definitely ain't going on there, babe. Don't get upset, darling.
Yeah, but yours doesn't look like one of the new ones.
It's only 4 and a half years old.
Oh, it's a baby.
LML.
Can you dance?
Yeah, but I'm not going to. I've got a really good friend of mine called Jonna who's from Finland, and she's into like very vintage stuff, but she's more into like 1950s. So we go to Bloomsbury bowling lanes and they do a 50s, 60s night every first Saturday of the month, and they always do like 50s, 60s stuff, mod stuff, and that's really good.
Okay, so you get them because of the it's retro, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
you've got that
exactly.
Retro connection. And what about at work? How do they come across to you? Like when you tell them you're a mod, do they understand it?
A lot of them, it depends where I've worked. So obviously Lambretta and Fred Perry, it was great. Even if they weren't into like the scene themselves, they kind of understood it and they could talk about it. But where I am now, I've had conversations with like my co-workers now and they just don't get it at all, which is kind of a shame.
What do you think about modern brands, how they copy the old fashion?
I think some brands are doing it really well, like Topshop in particular are doing it really well at the moment. If you go to the one on Oxford Circus, go to the men's floor, they've got loads of mod style stuff in it at the moment, like polo knits and like just the colours and designs and prints. They're doing it really well. And then right on the top floor, they've got a kind of tailoring space and they do some really nice suits, like really sharp.
Cool. And do you know like your music, do you play it on like MP3 or do you have records, vinyl? Do you have any old school stuff?
I've got a lot of vinyl. I've got more vinyl than I've got a CD, but then I also use Spotify on my phone as well because I can't take a vinyl player out on the tube.
Do you prefer the vinyl though, or the CD?
I prefer vinyl. I know it sounds really hipstery, but it's just nice.
Classic, isn't it?
It is. And if you get it from like, I go to record fairs sometimes. If you get them from there, they've still got like dips and crackles when it plays, which is really nice.
So what kind of stereo have you got? Have you got a record player sort of thing?
Yeah, I've got a record player.
What, like old school one? Modern?
Yeah.
No, you got to get an old school one, girl. Yeah, what's it eating?
What's it?
See you go, it look like dead. Oh, it's got another bird.
Ew.
Oh, no. It's eating another bird. Oh, it's so sad though, man.
It's so sad, like...
I know it's nature, but
Oh, you don't even mean?
no, it's not just that. It's just, I don't know, it just really touches me, man. It's like,
Are you gonna cry?
no.
Ooh, I love the Birds. Is that 60? Yeah. Yeah, I love the Birds. David Bowie, that was obviously late 60s. I love Dusty Springfield. Who else? The Searchers, the Hollies, the Beatles.
Do you like Motown and stuff like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely love Motown.
What's your favourite band from the Motown area?
Supremes.
I like Temptations. Supremes are good though.
Oh, yeah, I do like Temptations.
What's one
Oh,
of
Four Tops.
They're good as well, yeah, very good band.
I like most Motown actually.
What do you think of the Monkeys?
As in, hey, hey, we're the Monkeys.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, they're fun, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're really good.
Yeah, they're fun.
Quite a few people don't like them
I used to
though.
like the Monkeys. They used to do a Saturday show, didn't they? Every Saturday.
So my mum used to watch the TV show.
Yeah, and the show. Beatles, do you like the Beatles?
Massive Beatles fan. Absolutely huge Beatles fan.
Who's your favourite member
George Harrison.
and why?
Because he's the best looking and also the most talented. I think. And I'm right. So there we go.
Not saying nothing.
I know, it's hard to be wrong.
Favourite member of the Who?
You can't pick a favourite member of the Who.
Right, who do you think is fit in the Who?
All of them.
Pete Townsend was the best.
I do really fancy Pete Townsend. I mean, not
I
anymore.
don't fancy him.
Not now.
I don't fancy him, but he was.
You do.
And Quadrophenia, do you fancy anyone in there?
Steph.
Like her?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
And why?
I really like her hair and her face.
She's not a mod though, is she? In that movie, she's not a mod.
I don't know.
She's like your next door girl.
She's got, if she wore the right clothes, she would be.
Yeah.
I think like she's got the hair and like makeup for it.
I think basically what it was, she was just there, part of the scene, but I don't think she was actually a mod.
Yeah.
But I think she was like Dave said, the girl next door is sort of like, there's the mods, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I'm in the crowd.
Do you think there should be a follow-up?
I think there should be kind of like a sequel, not with the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have like exactly the same places in it, but with like brand new people. Like maybe it could be like their kids or something.
An up-to-date version.
Yeah, so it would still be linked to that. It would still be linked to the same characters.
Interesting.
And it could be about like new mods and stuff. Like what This Is England did. What it did like the TV shows like for the 90s and stuff like that. It could be like that.
How would you compare the modern mod scene today to the old scene? Obviously you're not that old, so
Thank you.
you weren't around then. But obviously you've read up things, you've seen things, you see how certain mods
Yeah.
today are still like they'd have been in the 60s sort of thing, which is nothing wrong with that, but everyone to their own, you know. But how do you see it?
I think there's still a lot of similarities, which kind of can be good and bad. So it's really nice that the fashion has kind of stayed the same, apart from the other branch outs. It's good that like the music is still classic and it's still relevant, especially like when times are hard, like economically and politically now. I think it's more relevant, like just as relevant as it was then. But then I think like a lot of, with older mods, a lot of the attitudes are the same. And that kind of rubs off on like modern mods now, which is kind of a shame, because like a lot of that hasn't really evolved.
To see the way you dress, what do you mix it up, a bit of the old, bit of new?
Yeah, definitely. If I'm going for a mod night, then I'll really go like old mod style, but then just casually, just like now.
Well, everyone has their casual days, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But do you because there's like some people say there's different styles of mods. Do you
Yeah, I
do you
agree.
believe that, or do you believe mod is just mod?
I think there's loads of different styles of mod. I don't think there always was, but I think there is now. And I think that's a really good thing. I think that a lot of people, especially people that I've worked with before, have argued that you can't be a Britpop mod. You can't be a skinhead and be into mod, if that makes sense. I think it's a lot more kind of
Because there's a lot of crossovers,
integrated
isn't there?
now. Yeah.
Between a
And
lot
I think it's a good thing. I don't see why you can't be into Britpop stuff and be mod. When a
it's
lot
changing.
of it,
It's
exactly,
changing
and the
all time.
music's so heavily influenced. You get Noel Gallagher and Paul Weller playing gigs together.
Says it all.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't see how, and the style is really similar as well. It's all very smart and all very cut. If it's like a tracksuit jacket, it's still fitted and it's still smart and it's got like the nice lines and design on it.
Okay. Back in the day, a lot of mods used to call female mods modettes. What's your look on that? What do you think about that?
I don't think it's an offensive thing, but I think it's really unnecessary. I think it's really unnecessary. I just don't see the point in, like, do you see a woman mod as being so different as a male mod?
It's like categorising.
Yeah,
different.
like, do you have to put an extra thing at the end to get that? I don't see why there needs to be a separation in that at all.
So I know some females, they're sort of cool with it, but
Yeah,
some
I don't think it's an
some
offensive
not.
thing. I just think it's really
I mean, I just believe
unnecessary.
a mod is a mod, me personally.
Yeah, exactly. There's
But-
no difference. There's no difference.
But
I shouldn't have like a separate name because I'm a woman when I'm into exactly the same things that the guys are.
Totally agree.
I can see why people don't mind. It's not an insulting thing. It's just, I just don't really see the point.
I think it's just something that people grew up with and got used to, maybe.
Yeah. But then you get people that insist on using it when they know people don't like it. And that's when it's even more unnecessary. Do I look beautiful?
Anything else? You're going to look beautiful because I'm going to make you look beautiful.
What's your favourite memory about being a mod?
My favourite one isn't anything that impressive, but it was a massive laugh. Back in my hometown, me and my friends, when we were underage, we'd go to this one pub that was a bit of a dive. But it was cheap and it had a jukebox and we could get served. And loads of like goths and metalheads would hang out there all the time. And I was quite good friends with the bartender. So me and this one guy I was friends with who was into the mod scene, we used to get him to cut off all their music and put on The Who, and the Small Faces really, really loud. And they'd get really pissed off and leave.
Okay, thank you for coming along to Mod TV today, Jenny, and doing this interview. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.